Hello everybody, welcome to Blue Marble Science. This is Jerk Alert Part 3, or Where's the Curve? Hey, there it is. There it is right there. Quantum Eraser continues to outdo himself with his Google Earth-based flat Earth model. Unfortunately, the poor simpleton has neglected to understand one key feature of that software.
Uh-oh.
Now, warning. The following video contains full frontal stupidity, so you might want to get those oven mitts. This time, I recommend a seatbelt so you don't fall off your chair. And with that, hey Gladys, let's light this dumpster fire and give old Quantum Eraser a dose of his own medicine. Well, I suppose we have no choice but to listen to some of Quantum Eraser's Derpa Derpa. So I guess we may as well get started, and I'll try to break it up as best I can so it doesn't get too completely crazy.
You know, it's called vertical drop. You guys remember this from 2015. This is the quintessential tenet of your spinning ball religion. You got to have drop. Every point from a tangent from your feet drops. That is vertically drops away from you at 8 inches per mile squared. Did you guys forget about this? I mean, come on. You see this tangent line? You see this drop? Right? I can't believe you forgot about this. This is like a hockey player forgetting what ice is, or John Wayne forgetting what a horse is. I mean, come on, people. So, the flat Earth model predictions, right? That's what we need. We need to test this, correct? Number one, since the Earth is flat, we would expect to measure no vertical drop, i.e. flat or level, between 2 points, separated by 500 miles. Number two, since the Earth is flat, we would expect to measure no vertical drop, i.e. flat or level, between 2 points separated by 1,000 miles. It's just that simple. We are going to test this model. So, without further ado, on behalf of the Supreme Council and my highly esteemed and distinguished colleague who has been knighted, Sir Nathan Oakley, it is my honor and privilege to present the only model of the Earth that has seen the light of day over the past 4 years. Here it is.
You really don't want to do this, nitwit. You're going to regret it.
Brought to you by our Flat Earth friends over at Google Earth. Hashtag same team. They seem to have hidden it in plain sight. So I didn't bring you here for us to gawk at this. Remember, we have 2 predictions to test, right? One at 500 miles and one at 1,000 miles. So let's take the 500 mile.
So let's take a look here. So everything's in plain sight. We're going to take an elevation of point D. And what do we got? We have 4 feet. So let's wing on over to Sicily. What do we have for an elevation in Sicily? Well, we have 4 feet.
Now remember the definitions that I told you. Level, not rising or falling or higher on one side. Horizontal or flat. So this meets the definition, right? Let's take a wider view. We'll get an elevation profile. So, from the shore of Sicily, for 500 miles, as you can see, we have a 0.00 vertical drop.
Well, let's have another look at that. This is Google Earth, and that, of course, is Antarctica. I don't think you really meant for that to be on your flat Earth model. Maybe you can correct that in a future version. Let's go to your 500 mile. observation. From Libya over to Sicily, and there's your line. That thing right there. And let's just we'll show the profile just like you did. And sure enough, you'll see sea level all the way across. But there's a reason why you see sea level all the way across there at the same elevation. And it's because, let me open up properties here. The properties of that line. You'll notice there's a thing that says altitude. When I open that up, you have a little pull down here. And what it's set for right now is clamped to the ground. Now, I know how you like definitions. So let's get up the definition of clamped. Clamped, past tense. Fasten something in place with a clamp. Synonyms: fasten, secure, fix, clip, attach. Fasten two things firmly together. Hold something tightly against or in another thing. Clamped. Well, what happens if we change clamped to the ground to relative to the ground? Where did the line go? Well, let's see. We have an elevation of nothing right now. Let's increase our elevation and see what happens. I see the line growing, Kiwi. And watch. There you go. If we were, I don't know, what is that? 100,000 meters up in the air, 300,000 feet. That's what it would look like. That is actually a nice straight line. You notice the arrow goes from the end, climbs up here in the center, drops down at the other end. It's following the ground. All right. So let's put that thing back to clamped to the ground the way we had it to start with. And let's turn on something else. I did another 500-mile path here. This is actually a path. And now if we go in there and have a look, you want to know where the drop is? It's right there. Right there. Let's look at the other end of it. Same thing. The drop is right there. Right there. Now, this is not an Earth curve calculator. This is Google Earth. If we wanted to know what that drop should be, let me put this back to units of feet and miles. Over a distance of 507 miles, and that's what that line is. The bulge height, and that's what we would be measuring there in this, from the center, is 13,057 meters. So what do we have our model set for? Let's check. Properties, altitude, 13,057 meters. Now, according to Google Earth, that's actually a little bit high, and there can be a lot of reasons for that. This thing is not specifically designed to be an Earth curve calculator. We get over here in the middle, though, and it's pretty close to the ocean. It's not too far off. Don't have a real good way of measuring that, but maybe a few thousand feet, but fairly close. I've got a closer one I'll show you later.
In fact, it's 508 miles. Validating the first prediction of our flat Earth model.
Well, actually it didn't, because you screwed up and clamped the thing to the damn ground. And I got a feeling you're about to do it again.
Whoa. you're revealing one of the extra technological advancements in this model there.
Oh, I did. Sorry about that. That's right. I revealed it.
We'll cover that later.
Now, since we've already validated the first prediction of our model, let's swing on over to the Gulf of Mexico for our 1,000-mile measurement.
Whoa. Ah. You're
Yeah,
revealing
it
the
just
advanced
happens
features
that way.
again.
That's a little added feature.
Yep, we'll cover these advanced features.
So at point A, this is southern Texas. So nothing is hidden. Point A, let's get an elevation here. I got 3 feet. Let's wing on over to southern Florida. See what Pet Detective's up to. Point B in southern Florida, we have an elevation of 3 feet. That matches our level and flat definition, not rising or falling or higher on one side, horizontal or flat. Go for a wider view. Get an elevation profile.
Mouse, just wave your mouse so people can see what I'm talking about, John. There we go. It's referencing a flat surface. Now, one of the advanced services that's offered is that you can make a direct comparison between these two. So I don't know if you can just roll your line so that it's at the top, John, leaving the elevation profile on. If you can move the animation so that the line you've drawn is at the top of the frame of picture. So roll Google Earth with the down key.
I see what you want. Okay. Let's see what we got.
Other way.
Let's go to the other one.
There we go. Stop. That'll do. So you can see the comparison between the graphic, which is what the fundamentalist religious zealots believe they live on, versus the actual reference in the elevation profile at the bottom. Very useful tool to show what they think they have versus what's actually being measured and demonstrated and what it's referencing. Flat. A useful tool, but sorry to interrupt. Saves me doing it.
No, that's okay. So from the southern point in Texas, we're moving 1,000 miles. And as you can see on our trip, we have a 0.00 vertical drop. Each are 3 feet elevation. This matches our predictions for our flat Earth model, validating the model. It's just as simple as that.
Well, let's just have a look over in Texas and see if we find the same thing. And I'm pretty sure we will. So the same measurement that Quantum Racing made from southern Texas over to southern Florida. Once again, if we open this thing up, we will find that, in fact, it's clamped to the ground. Of course, it's going to say it's the same elevation all the way across. What else could it possibly say? But we've got one of these things again, and now it looks even more dramatic because you're covering more distance. You can clearly see the drop. Both ends. Like that. So there is your drop. But you know, while we're at it, I thought maybe I would do just one more and make an entire hemisphere. Ooh, how about that? How do you like them apples? What I've done, and that's sitting right on the equator, I've gone from the prime meridian over here around to 90 degrees west over here. Okay, that is the same thing, and right now that has an altitude, let me see, of 2,600,000 641,900 meters. Where would that number come from? Well, I thought I would make a little drawing here on AutoCAD. And the circle you see has a radius of 6,378 meters. That's the radius. I've drawn a 0-degree line for the prime meridian, a 90-degree line vertically there. And you can see on the right-hand side, 2,641,900 meters. That is that elevation to a line that is tangent to the surface of the Earth. Now, how does that compare with, well, let's say, a curve calculator? Well, here we go. That distance is a quarter of the circumference of the Earth. So you have to take 6,378,000, whatever number I had, times 2 times pi, and then divide by 4. And you'll end up with 10,007,500 meters. If we did that in miles, it's 6,218.4 miles. That's a fourth of the circumference of the Earth at the equator. Okay. Based on that, the bulge height predicted by the Earth curve calculator is 1,866,020 meters, and that compares to 1,868,100 meters. That's slightly different, but it's slightly different because the radius I used is a little bit less, or a little bit more, I'm sorry, than the radius used in the Earth curve calculator. All right, so back to Google Earth. And again, the altitude is not the vertical distance. It is actually the vertical distance, 2,641,900 according to the AutoCAD drawing. 2,641,900 is what I put in. And if we zoom in here in the center, somewhere near the middle, can't really tell where the middle is, right in there somewhere, you can see that, whoops, let me cancel that. I just added a section I didn't want to add. There you go. That thing's fading out to virtually 0. And if we keep going on down, there it comes back again.
I think the geoid implication does have some massive effects on even their wiffle waffle argument. It takes that apart. So it's,
What's a geoid?
the flattened ball.
That's a hypothetical shape of the Earth, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. But in doing so, what I mean is, to me, that it kind of that point you make there, which is unusual for you, to beg the question for them, that if it was that squashy ball, that would be the secondary implication, that the sea level is no longer the same distance based on the distance to the center of the Earth.
I just pulled up the definition for geoid. It has the hypothetical shape of the Earth. I can stop right here. Not playing anymore.
Yeah.
Well, express why. Explain the begging the question part of it. Got your
Me or John?
I've got your no, John, please. I've got your screen presented, John.
Say again?
Can you explain why? You don't have to go any further. Just explain. It's begging the question.
Well, it's a hypothetical shape. It's not in reality. A hypothetical deals with it right there. I don't have to concern myself.
And it's hard for me to believe these guys are serious. I still think there's a good chance they're just playing silly games. I mean, you start out by clamping the ruler to the ground and then wondering why it's following the ground. And now you turn around and say you don't know what a geoid is. Really, Kiwi? Are you really that stupid? I don't think so. But just in case you are, your dictionary definition might have said the geoid is hypothetical, but I'll tell you what isn't. WGS84 isn't hypothetical, and that's what Google Earth is based on. You might want to look into that. I believe we've adequately debunked this, and again, I'm skeptical as to whether or not these guys are even serious. But one thing I'm not unsure about, Quantum Eraser, you are absolutely a jerk, and to use your words, a pretender clown. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And Gladys, we're out of here.